had been Audi for hours, diehard Audi. I worked at an Audi performance shop. We did exhausts and tuning and everything. I was all about it. I had a B7 stage 2, whatever all that means, but I loved it. But like I said, I just wanted something simpler. I wanted something super basic. And I drove everything. I drove Miatas, I drove S2000s, I drove 335s, 135s, and I found an article on oversteer, which is a jalopnik derivative, and someone was just singing tunes about this 128, and I was like, is it that? It's just a car. I started to look for them, and really, really hard to find. So when I was searching, like I said, about 3 years ago, there were 2 for sale, manual sport package in the state of New York. So I drove from Rochester to Geneva just to test drive one. I took it out and I went down this little side road, and there was a perfect 90-degree turn over a field, so you could see oncoming traffic, you could see everything. Turned the traction control off, and I was like, just go for it, right? And so I tucked it in, and I had never had a rear-wheel drive car before, and the back came out, it just started to rain, and I instantly was like, counter, and it caught, and I was like, done, I'm buying one. I've gone through most of it pretty much nose to tail. Engine mounts, diff mounts, subframe mounts, control arms. One of the biggest advantages that I think I did, the Wavetrac diff in the back, really woke the car up. Got 330 front brakes, so added about 30 millimeters to the front brakes. Eibach lowering springs, Eibach sway bars, Coney adjustable dampers, Dynon camber plates. It has M3 control arms front and rear. Your 325, your 328, and your 330 have the exact same engine. So what you can do is you can find the intake manifold off of the faster car, put it on the slower car, and you've instantly got another 30 horsepower. I coupled that with some active Autowerks headers, and it goes from about 205 wheel horsepower to about 250 wheel horsepower, and I think that's the sweet spot for this car. Not a rocket ship, but enough to slide around and get it to move. And I think that's perfect. I think it was just a little bit underpowered at 230, but at 280, 290, I think it's pretty good. A few months back, I was putting the diff in this. My girlfriend took a picture of me out the window. I'm sitting under the car, I'm fighting with the diff, and I've been at it for a week at that point, because I had to pull the diff, and then you got a spacer to make sure the backlash is all good, and you need shims to do it, and so it's just a whole thing. I had to order out shims after I put it back together and then take it out again. And so she took a picture, and I'm laying underneath the car, and I've got my legs crossed, and I've got my giant hammer. I've been trying to put the diff back into its place. And my friend John, who owns Rock Euro, he commented on it and said, oh, cross legs only mean these couple of things. And he ended up posting on Reddit just for giggles. Like 3 days later, I got a Facebook notification from a guy I work with who was like, is this you? Are you, like, is this a thing? And at that point, it was maybe 10,000 shares, 5,000 shares, and I was like, oh, well, I'm famous. Look at that. Like, we didn't plan it or anything. We just kind of took a stupid photo. A couple months later, all the Instagram accounts grabbed it, and there's just this photo of me with, these crazy likes and crazy shares, which makes no sense. But yeah, that was I was trying to get that diff into place, and it just was not playing nice.
I've always liked the look of these cars. I think it's one of, you know what, I'm gonna say it. I think this is my favorite looking BMW. So a friend of mine, he has an E46 M3. I've driven it several times. Definitely a great car. This is, the modern version of that in a lot of ways. Inline 6, close to similar power with the modifications that have been done to this. And it really feels like an homage to that. In size, in smell. Oh, man. Sounds great. It really has that throaty inline 6. But this is, in all seriousness, this is a throwback to what the old recipe of what BMW was for their performance cars. Naturally aspirated, inline 6, mid 200 horsepower, small two-door coupe. This is the old formula. And I like BMW in general, but their new cars just don't excite me. They've gotten so big. The new M3 is larger than the old M5s. The new M5s are massive. They're just so big. So this is the modern BMW I think you should own. Classic BMW, silky smooth acceleration. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the speed I'm doing. Just cruises, nice and quiet. Listen. You want to talk about being quiet? It's silent in here. This is so comfortable. I'm in the ultimate driving machine. It also feels really solid. I feel safe. I feel safe in here. Such good noise. She is good. That is not bad. The power delivery is not gonna surprise you. It's not shockingly fast, but it's quick. It's quick. That was a big number. In Mexico. Green light, green light, green light. Maybe, maybe. Ooh, nice little heel toe, not bad. Alright, that was really fast. You want a budget E46 M3? This is the car. This is the car for you. Take the money that you save, go to the track, take the money you save, put some modifications into it, drive it hard. And enjoy the car. This is a great car.
Now that Dylan's done with the street review, let's get to the fun review. Back at Pineview, doing a warm-up lap in Andrew's BMW 128. Let's see what you do. I gotta remember my lines here. Power delivery is really good though. Definitely suffers from some understeer. I do not like that. So the rev limiter doesn't actually bounce like older cars do. It just kind of holds you in, which isn't bad necessarily because it keeps you in a good power band without jostling the car around, but it takes some getting used to. I gotta move my hand some more here. Too hot. All right, let's try this again. Checkers, we'll take a nice cool down lap. So my thoughts, I'm surprised for such a new, like well optioned out car. This thing makes an awesome track weapon. He's taken this to Lime Rock, Palmer Motorsports Park, now Pineview, and it seems to love the abuse. He's got some great upgrades in it. This thing is sick. You always drive a car on the street and you're like, man, this would be great on track. Driving this on the track, I can tell you it's going to be great on the street. He's gone into the computer and made it so that when you shut the DTC off, it shuts everything off. There's no like last minute, if you're way out of line, it's not going to correct you at all, which is really cool. A lot of times you shut DTC off and it still has like a little factor that'll save you in worst case, and this doesn't, and it's awesome. Couldn't think fast enough to review this while I was driving out there.
So that's a wrap. We both are back from my only drive, and you luckily got to experience the good stuff down in Pineview.
Yeah, the dual duty.
But yeah, what was your impressions on track? I could only obviously experience so much on street.
So it was my first like BMW experience, both street and track. and it made me reconsider a lot of life choices. But it was like, I mean, it's heavier than a Miata, but it didn't really feel like it. And, you know, it has torque that the Miatas don't have, and it's there when you want it, and it's
refined, it's quiet,
yeah,
it's smooth.
What was cool was being able to drive it aggressively yesterday on track, and then, you know, going down the road here in 6th gear, it's perfectly comfortable and fine. And there's all you change were wheels and tires, so
yeah,
you know, super easy to dual duty that type of car. Nice job. You got all the right parts on that thing for sure.
It's been an uphill battle, but we're getting there.
So yeah, if you like the video, click the like down below. That'd help us out a ton. We are now fully over the 1,000 subscribers. So if you like this content, you're looking for other cars that we're going to be doing reviews on soon here, subscribe to follow along and stay tuned. Thanks.
Cool. That's it.
Done. Boy, I'm going faster than I thought. Classic.
Too much.